What is up, fellow movie acolytes? My name is Dan Stevens, and welcome to Movie Buffs. On today's episode, guys, I want to talk to you about Spac Jam 2, A New Legacy. I want to talk to you guys about what to expect, my thoughts on it, and go over some stuff. So, guys, before we get started, please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate all the love, and we're trying to give you guys daily content, or at least close to daily content. And at the end of each month, we're doing a giveaway. So if you are subscribed, every person that is subscribed is automatically entered into the giveaway. The end of this month, in honor of the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, the Snyder Cut coming out, we are giving away a free Snyder Cut Justice League t-shirt. It's a really cool design from Pink Rabbit Apparel on Etsy. So we're going to be giving that away to one lucky subscriber. So guys, like I said, show us some love and we'll show it back. Let's get to it. Okay, first things first. So this is about a day old now, but Pepe Le Pew is canceled from Spac Jam 2. And now a lot of people like to use the term canceled, and here's the biggest thing. A lot of headlines are talking about Lebron James is the reason it's canceled, and or cancel culture is to blame. Now here's the thing. Whether I don't want to get into any political things or anything like that, but honestly, my guess, if no one talked about it, I don't think anyone would watch Spac Jam: A New Legacy and say, you know what that was missing? A heavy dose of Pepe Le Pew. He had very small moments in the original Spac Jam, and honestly, he's kind of a B, maybe even a C character in the original Looney Tunes. Guys, I grew up watching a lot of the original Looney Tunes clips. They were on Cartoon Network all the time when I was a kid in the 90s. And I gotta be honest, Pepe Le Pew usually were the ones that kind of bored me the most. Do I think it's overboard? It's hard to say because I've never gone through anything like sexual assault, so I really don't want to have an opinion on something like that. However, one thing I will say is I don't think it's going to take away from the film. So honestly, it's really not a big deal for something like this. If it was something that was detrimental to the plot, maybe it's a bigger deal, but honestly, to me, this doesn't affect the plot whatsoever for Spac Jam 2. So moving on from that, he's canceled because basically they said he represents rape culture and what's wrong with that kind of society and chauvinist society essentially. And it's not LeBron, or it's not even the producers of the film. It's Warner Brothers as a whole. Warner Brothers owns the IP for Looney Tunes and other characters, and Pepe Le Pew, like I said, he always just kind of had side vignettes. He never had his own real full show. He always just had a 2 or 3 minute segment in an episode where he's chasing the female skunk and everything. So it's not LeBron James's decision. It's not Warner Brothers producers. It's honestly, I think it's studio heads. Kind of want to just move away from that. And if it was done quietly, I don't think anyone would have batted an eye. So the next big thing, and this is a topic since the small little teaser came out with Lola Bunny, and the biggest thing with Lola is her redesign. Now I know a lot of people are talking about it and kind of, I think mostly joking. At least I really hope they're joking that they didn't make Lola hot anymore. Yeah, I don't really know how to respond to that because I'm gonna be honest. I guess as far as as a kid goes, you kind of look at it and you're supposed to say, oh, she's pretty. That's the whole point of the Spac Jam movie. Not the whole point of it, but that's the point of, Bugs really falls for her and everything because she's very pretty. Now, I think with modern writing, something that's, 20 plus years newer with a little fresher mind, I think they're trying to look at it and say, okay, we don't necessarily need to draw her quote unquote hot anymore. And again, I think if anything, I think it's actually smart on Warner Brothers' part because just like the jersey redesign, which we'll get to in just a minute, it's free publicity for them. Whether it's good or bad, it's free publicity for a movie that is a $161 million budget. They need all the free publicity they can get. That is an expensive movie for the type of movie it is. So moving on to the jersey redesign. So the funny thing with that is, I remember when I first saw it months and months ago, when they first came out with the jersey redesign, gosh, it was probably in the last summer, 2020. I saw it and I immediately hated it because I was hoping for the same thing. And the more and more I learn about this film, the more and more I realize it's not going to be the same thing. And honestly, I think it might actually be a better film. Now, I'm someone who's a huge basketball fan, and I love Spac Jam. It was one of the movies I saw a lot as a kid. It got me introduced to basketball. I mean, I was a basketball coach for a varsity team for a long time. I just, like I said, basketball has been a big part of my life. And I always loved Michael Jordan, and I like LeBron James too, but actually I think the plot of this one sounds like it's not going to be quite so one-dimensional. I think this actually sounds like it's going to take us through a lot of time and space and do a lot of cameos for other Warner Brothers properties. So it's going to be really, I think, quite a fun ride. But anyway, back to the jersey redesign. So I'm going to be honest, the jersey redesign, looking at it now with fresh perspective and a little more accepting perspective, I actually really like it. I'm not going to lie, I actually like the color change. I actually like them a lot more. The 90s one was very bland, if you really look back at it. It's like there's not much to it. This one is definitely much more colorful. Kind of almost reminds me of a Utah Jazz jersey, the one alternate jersey, where it's kind of all the colors are red and yellow, all kind of fade into one another. It's just a really fun design. I really enjoy that. There's also going to be new looks with they're intermingling traditional animation like they did on the the original Spac Jam movie with the cartoon characters, but they're also going to mix them in. I think in the final basketball challenge at the end of the film, I think they're going to be fully CGI. And the few shots we have gotten, I will say, they look amazing. They look really, really good. They're still cartoony, just enough where you know it's cartoon and you know it's obviously the demographic it's for, but it's still immersive enough and you're not really distracted by it. It's actually really well done. So basically the plot of the movie is, without reading verbatim what Warner Brothers has released, LeBron James and his son, when they're on Warner Brothers studio lot, accidentally get sucked into a alternate kind of dimension, I think, with all Warner Brothers IP. And in order, they kind of get travel through, I think, it sounds like a lot of different ones, not just Looney Tunes this time, guys. I think it's going to be Hanna-Barbera, which, you know, you're talking Flintstones, you're talking all sorts of characters from that. You're talking like the Jetsons and all those, but I think you're also going to be talking basically a lot of Cartoon Network style things. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of famous movies maybe redone, or even like LeBron green screening with, like, you know, who knows what movies, but, you know, famous Warner Brother movies of the past. Who knows, maybe LeBron will be on the set of the 1989 Batman movie or something as kind of a wink to the audience. Even if it's for just a moment, I think it'd be a lot of fun if they do something like that. It adds a lot of depth to the movie, in my opinion, and makes it a lot more fun for us older fans that grew up with the original as kids. Anyway, LeBron travels, you know, through all these different, I guess, vignettes of different movies and different shows, ends up playing a basketball game at the end, just like the original, probably saves the world, yada yada, saves his son. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, I saw the budget for this film, and I'm not gonna lie, it blew my socks off. $161 million for a film like this. That is extremely expensive. Now, I'm sure LeBron is not doing this for free. I'm sure he's coming with a hefty price tag, and he is by far the most famous athlete probably in the world, but definitely most famous basketball player. So it's smart, obviously. You wouldn't want it to have, like, you wouldn't want it starring someone else. It just wouldn't feel right. However, it's very interesting. It's curious how much he's getting paid for this, but also, I mean, with all the CGI and the animation and everything, it sounds like, I will say, from the small clips we have seen, the small doses we've gotten, I think Warner Brothers is actually pulling out all the stops on this film, and I do think they're really banking on this being the, you know, summer blockbuster hit for summer 2021. Hopefully theaters will be fully reopened by then. And I'm not going to lie, after thinking about it for a little bit, I actually think it makes a lot of sense. And I really think this is going to be a film that's going to be very profitable. Not only profitable just because of nostalgia, but I think it's going to be profitable because it's going to be just a good movie. I think you're going to find that it actually gets pretty good reviews. At least I'm hoping, you know, I'm really hoping. And honestly, the plot sounds just different enough. It sounds similar enough to the original, but quite a bit different still, where someone like me is like, oh, it's not just rehashing the original one. It sounds like there is a lot there that is different. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what else you guys want to hear about and what to expect. And that is all for now, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.